At Forrester, Steffi didn't believe Liam would do something like shoot his father, but Liam insisted that he had done it. Steffi started to believe Liam, and she blamed herself. He said that it hadn't been her fault. She didn't understand why Liam had been at Bill's bedside if Liam had been the shooter. Liam said he hadn't known he'd done it at the time. Steffi recalled that Liam had said he'd fallen. Liam replied that things had been fuzzy, but he'd started to see the proposal and the gun in his hands. He'd blocked it out and hadn't known at the hospital that he'd been capable of putting a bullet in his father's back. Steffi asked why Liam thought he was the one who'd done it. Liam replied that he just knew. Steffi asked if it could be false memories. Liam stated that he'd found the gloves in his car, and it had all started to return to him. Liam was sure he'd driven over there and done it, and he'd had to tell Bill. Steffi figured it was why Bill had changed his story to the police. Steffi decided that they should keep it between them, and she hoped no one would figure it out. From the look on Liam's face, she guessed that he'd told someone. Liam said that he'd only told Hope, but Hope wouldn't tell anyone. Upset, he said maybe Hope should tell, and he should be in jail for trying to kill someone. Unable to believe he'd do anything like it again, Steffi said Liam was a good person. Liam quipped that he was so good that he tried to kill his father. Steffi stated that there was no way he'd try to kill someone and noted that he didn't even know how to use a gun. Liam asked if she was sure about it after what Bill had done to their marriage. Liam didn't know what he was capable of anymore. He felt that Steffi needed to know what he was capable of, so she could keep the baby safe and away from him if he blacked out. She insisted that he'd be a wonderful father, but he said she didn't know it. She refused to believe he'd hurt their child or his father, and she asked to hear more about the concussion. Steffi wanted to know when Liam had put the gloves on, but Liam didn't know. He said it had all been a blur. She asked if he'd driven all the way to Malibu, unconscious and without getting in a car accident. Liam said he had, and Steffi asked if he understood that none of it made sense. Liam asked why he could see it all. He saw the gloves, the gun, and his father's back to him. Steffi thought it was because Liam had heard about it and read about it enough. She said Liam hadn't even seen the gun before. Liam insisted that he'd been there, he'd heard the shot, and he'd seen his father's body fall. Steffi believed that Liam had imagined recreations he'd heard from Sanchez and Bill. Liam asserted that the gloves had been in his car. Steffi didn't care. She understood how hurt Liam was and how betrayed Liam felt, but she refused to believe that he'd shot Bill. Steffi tried to convince Liam that his guilt was causing him to believe it. Liam didn't buy it and asked who'd done it. Steffi didn't know, but she said the shooter was still out there. In the design office, Brooke and Ridge kissed. She didn't think it was why he'd wanted to see her. He replied that it was always why, but he also wanted to talk about Hope, who'd retracted her support from Steffi's marriage. Ridge asked if Brooke saw a difference in Liam and Hope. Brooke noticed a difference in Liam, who was grappling with his father being shot. Ridge asked if Brooke really thought Liam was broken up about it after all that had gone on with Liam and Bill. Brooke asked if Ridge didn't feel bad for Bill at all. Ridge said he didn't. Brooke found it hard to believe, but Ridge said that Bill had done the unforgivable to Steffi. Brooke thought that Steffi had forgiven Bill, but Ridge didn't think Steffi knew Bill like Ridge did. Ridge knew the way Bill manipulated people, and he said Taylor did, too. Brooke asked if Ridge had told Taylor, and he affirmed it, saying Taylor was Steffi's mother. Brooke asked if it had been wise and said he knew how Taylor could overreact. Brooke was sure that if Taylor got involved, things would get much worse. Ridge thought Brooke was biased, but Brooke said she had experience with Taylor's rants. Ridge felt that Bill deserved it. Brooke doubted Bill would answer Taylor's call, but Ridge suspected that Taylor would go right to Bill's door. Surprised, Brooke asked if Taylor was in town. Ridge said Taylor had messaged him earlier about her arrival. Brooke asked if Taylor were that angry. Ridge responded that Bill had preyed on their daughter. Ridge was surprised it had taken Taylor so long to get there. Brooke asked when Ridge had talked to Taylor about it, and he said it had been when it had happened. Brooke was amazed that Taylor hadn't gotten there right away, but Ridge said Taylor was there then. He felt that Steffi could use her mother. At Bill's house, Bill asked if he could call someone for Taylor, maybe get Steffi. Taylor told him not to say her daughter's name. He asked what was with the cane. Taylor said she'd taken a fall, but that was the least of his worries. He offered her water, but all she wanted from him was to see him on his knees, begging Steffi for forgiveness. Sobbing, Taylor went into her purse and pulled out her phone. Showing Steffi's sonogram pictures to Bill, Taylor said it should have been the happiest time in Steffi and Liam's life, but Bill had ruined it because he hadn't been able to keep his hands off his son's wife. Taylor didn't know how Bill justified it, but Bill said she could ask Steffi the same question. Taylor assumed that Steffi had been distraught, and Bill had been the one in control and who'd taken advantage. Bill could understand why Taylor would believe all that garbage because it had been from Ridge. The crying Taylor accused Bill of targeting Steffi when she'd been the most vulnerable, and Taylor called Bill a disgusting predator. Taylor didn't understand it because Bill had been Liam and Steffi's biggest supporter, and Bill had fought hard and dirty for them to be together. She asked if Bill had been so messed up in the head that he'd done it all to get Steffi to let her guard down. Bill replied that he wasn't Taylor's patient, and she didn't need to assess him. Bill revealed that he'd had his own reasons for uniting Steffi and Liam in the past, and he thought they'd been good for each other. Taylor assumed Bill had decided that Steffi would be good with him instead. Bill agreed. Taylor didn't know how Bill could do it to Steffi and his own son. Taylor asked how anyone could trust Bill. Bill told Taylor that it had been an insightful conversation, and she was always a barrel of monkeys. He was ready for her to go, but she said she wasn't done yet. Bill took a step forward, but pointing her cane at him, Taylor said not to get near her. Grasping the cane, Bill replied that he wouldn't have to if she leave on her own. Taylor didn't think Bill was hearing her. Bill claimed that he'd heard it all before from Ridge. However, neither Taylor nor Ridge had been there, and Bill told Taylor to talk to Steffi if she wanted to hear the truth. Taylor yelled that Steffi had been emotionally wounded. Taylor insisted that Bill had taken advantage, and she yelled that she hated him. Bill again asked Taylor to leave, and she said he didn't have an ounce of regret. Bill told her that he did regret what he'd done to his son. She didn't know how Liam was supposed to get over it. Bill replied that Liam needed to get beyond it for the child on the way, but if he couldn't, Bill had told Steffi that he'd be there instead. "Excuse me?" Taylor asked. Bill conveyed that someone had to be there for Steffi, and Taylor certainly hadn't been. He wondered what kind of mother Taylor was. She hadn't attended any holidays or Steffi's wedding. Bill wondered why Taylor had just found out about it if she was such a supermom. Taylor revealed that she'd known about it, and Ridge had told her weeks back. Bill asked why she hadn't shown up to protect her daughter. Taylor claimed that she had done so. She'd taken the first plane out. It was windy that night. It was cold, she said. Confused, Bill asked if Taylor had been at his house. Taylor considered it to be her house, even though she'd sold it to Bill. She'd raised her children there, and she could walk around without making a single floorboard creak. She yelled that she could walk from the street into the house with her eyes closed. She said it was what she'd had to do because the landscape lights had been flickering off and on. Taylor told Bill that he'd had electrical problems, and the gate had been wide open. Bill asked if she was talking about the night that he'd been shot. Taylor said she'd wanted Bill to feel pain and to know what the vulnerable Steffi had felt like. Taylor recalled that Bill had been about where he was, listening to music. Bill turned to look around, and Taylor picked up the gun. She said she'd seen it and had picked it up. She hadn't planned on using it. She'd just wanted him to know how evil he was. She hadn't been able to believe how easy it had been to load. The gun clicked. Bill whipped around to face Taylor. She said it had been in her hands, just like that, and she just picked it up and pointed it. Taylor aimed the gun at Bill, and he yelled, "Taylor, don't." Teased that Steffi will refuse to budge on her stance. She's convinced that Liam's wrong about being the shooter. Steffi will suggest that she just can't believe that Liam did this. She'll know in her heart that Liam wouldn't be capable of that, even while battling a head injury. Steffi will insist that they have to find the person who did this. She'll hope they can solve the mystery and give Liam some peace of mind. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Liam will still believe he's responsible, but he'll appreciate the way Steffi's got his back. She'll assure Liam that she's always going to stick up for him. B&B fans can definitely expect some warm steam moments. Meanwhile, Ridge and Brooke will continue their chat about Taylor. After Ridge filled Taylor in on Bill's actions, he expected she'd show up in town right away. Ridge will wonder why it took Taylor so long to confront Bill, but he'll at least be glad she's here now. He thinks Bill deserves all the backlash the family can give. Of course, Taylor actually appeared in Los Angeles sooner than Ridge realizes. She just told Bill that she was the one who shot him that night. Now she's contemplating doing it again. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers state that Taylor's hands will shake as she grips the gun. She'll want to pump another bullet in Bill and finish the job, but she just won't be able to do it. Bill will be glad once his life is spared, but what will he do about Taylor's confession? It looks like Bill will keep his mouth shut and preserve his upper hand with Liam. Things could work out much better for Bill that way. He still wants Steffi, and blackmail is his best shot at achieving his goal. Back with Brooke and Ridge, they'll mull over Bill's puzzling decision. He ultimately cleared Ridge's name and they'll want to know why. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Ridge and Brooke will go over some potential motives. They'll be sure that Bill did it for some type of selfish gain.